One of the great things about riding around the world is, of course, not just the riding, but it's meeting the local cultures and getting to know what the local food is all about. I love to cook, Simon loves to eat, and Simon and I have ridden down to the Sea of Cortez in southern Baja, and we've just managed to pick up some fresh white fillets of fish. And tonight I'm going to cook one of my favourite recipes that I picked up along the way, fish cakes. So yeah, we're in Carla's kitchen in Baja, and it's in Baja de Concepcion, if you want to say it properly. And I'm going to cook fish cakes. It's white fish cakes. And what I've made up here is just enough pieces to really make up 3 whole fillets. So a fillet each, really. I'm hoping that will make about 10 to 12 individual fish cakes. And the other ingredients that I've got here, this is all that you need to make the whole meal. I've got grated breadcrumbs and from white bread. I've got some corn maize here, which is pretty rough to the feel, and I'll mix that in with the breadcrumbs. Some cilantro, a red onion. I like to use red onions. I find they've got a little bit more flavour. You can use shallots or a white onion if you prefer, but I always like the red onions if I can find them. A bit of lime, because I'll be needing some lime juice. I'll use 2 or 3 garlic cloves. I have a small, fairly hot chili pepper here. You can, obviously, the bigger they get, the sweeter they are and the less hot. This is a medium-sized one. It's going to give it a slight tang, but you don't want to blow people's head off. And I will use that in conjunction with just one of the sweet green peppers. And the potato, and that's actually boiled and mashed, and it gives some body to the actual fish cake, and it makes it stick together and doesn't make it too soggy when you put the egg in. So that's all the ingredients, along with a bit of flavouring, which is pepper, some garlic salt, and I put in a dash or 2 of the Worcestershire sauce. So that is everything that I need for this meal. There's a variety of ways you can poach fish, especially white fish, but I like to poach it with a little milk. Just keeps it nice and moist, and if you need to, you can then always use a little bit of the milk, which will have the fish juices in it, in the sauce if you're making any sauce, or in the fish cakes if they are a tiny bit dry. So I've just poached the fish, and probably takes about 4 minutes. You don't want to overcook it, you don't want to dry it out. And I've just flaked it, and I actually always like to use my fingers, because then you can actually feel whether or not there's any bones that need to be taken out. This was beautiful, there were no bones in it whatsoever. So now that I've flaked it and it's nice and moist, I'm going to ruin it totally by mashing it. So this is what I prepared earlier. It's all chopped up and all ready to mix together. Let me quickly go through it. I've got the chopped red onion. It's nice and fine. You don't want big chunks. It's got to be really fine. The coriander, or cilantro, sorry. 3 cloves of garlic. This is the very hot, spicy chili. Again, very finely chopped. This is the sweet green pepper. Again, you can see how small I've chopped it up. Cooked potato, the large potato, white and mashed. It's not mashed with anything. You don't put any butter or anything. You just want to mash it whilst it's hot. The fish Again, nicely flaked and lightly mashed. You don't want to have a pulp, but you don't want to have massive pieces, because when you mix the fish cake, that will force the fish cake apart. But obviously you want it to be, reasonable pieces to eat. And then the mix of the maize with the breadcrumbs with some salt and pepper. Beaten egg, 1 egg, limes ready and de-pipped, ready to squeeze that juice in. Now all I'm going to do is to mix all those ingredients together in one pot and then form little patties with them. Yeah, this is like making mud pies in a minute. Love it. So it's very important when you mash the potato, you don't add anything into it. So there's no oil, no butter, because you don't want it too wet. This is about right. It's just going to form a pate, but it's not too wet. So it's going to hold itself together. It's really just a matter of practice and getting it right. So that's an ideal size and thickness. It's about 1/2 inch. You don't want it much thicker. Well, I don't like them much thicker. Now I'm going to just pop it into the breadcrumbs. I love this bit. This is fun. So you need to make sure that the oil is super hot, because these need to seal and sear straight away. So I just grab a little bit of the breadcrumbs, put it in. Yep, that looks ready. So it's all done and time to plate up. Hope everyone's hungry. I love to finish this off with the sweet chili sauce. It just has that extra mwah. So it's time to enjoy.
So, no, this is amazing. But this is fluffy and light on the inside and crispy on the outside. It's just almost like eating air. And I would never have done this with fish until Lisa showed me how. So this is what I'm gonna do from now on with cabrilla and with yellowtail, whatever whitefish happens to come to the doorstep.